Welcome back to the JubJub MMA podcast. With today's guest, we have Adele Fornarino, second appearance on the show. We're going to be chatting about upcoming match with Jasmine Rocha, the past controversial loss with Ffion Davies, and how her training's going and how it's coming on. Cool. What's been happening, man?
Oh, good to be back on the podcast, chatting with you guys. You guys always come up with some good questions. But I've been feeling good, been training good, just happy, ready for some big challenges coming ahead, some big matches coming ahead.
Fantastic. So you fly out in a couple of days?
Yes, yeah, off to Miami in a couple of days because WNO on the 25th of July is in Miami this time around, which is pretty cool. Haven't spent much time in Miami, so I'm excited to explore and see what Miami has to offer, but it should be really fun.
Fantastic. Tell us about, because you recently fought Ffion.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your camp at home and how your preparation's been going.
So with the match with Ffion?
With the match with Jasmine.
With Jasmine, okay. So the
Jasmine
match,
Rocha.
yeah. So I got the match with Jasmine Rocha. Camp has gone really well. I think we've over the past kind of few years, we've dialed in some of the things that we need in regards to like a camp and what the expectations are through that camp of either the training partners or the coaching staff. So now we have a really good equation and we're behaving like professionals through this training camp. So there's no missed sessions. There's no, negotiating how much training we need to do or anything like that. We just have the equation, we follow the equation, and I know that it sets me up to put on my best performances out on the competition mats. So we're kind of just continuously building on that. The camp has been good. It's been tough, but it's been really good. We've had a lot of girls really interested in being a part of the camp and wanting to push me and push themselves. And that is really cool to see, especially here in Australia, to see so many girls eager to, grow their skills and wanting to treat themselves a little bit more professionally. That's really cool to see. But no, I'm feeling really good. The body's feeling fantastic. And it is nice, obviously, because the weight class is a little bit heavier than what I normally do.
Cool.
So being able to eat and, enjoy food at the moment has been really nice.
Awesome. Smashing donuts or cookies or
Weight is, yeah.
athlete.
At least 3 a day, at least 2 a day.
Sweet. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. How was your match with Ffion and what are your thoughts on it?
A lot of thoughts on that match with Ffion. Obviously, I felt really good going in. Like, me and my team did an amazing job planning and preparing for the match. We went in with a very specific strategy based on the rule set that we were given, executed that strategy pretty much perfectly, in the sense of like everything I was doing was controlled and was very calculated, and you could see in that match that there was just nothing that she could do to me that was actually causing me any grief or any positional advantage or anything like that. I felt very comfortable through the entire match. Managed to get quite a few submission attempts out through all the rounds, specifically in the second round. Obviously that straight ankle lock was on pretty tight. I felt it give way in my arms, but she's tough. She kept going, and all credit to her. So I am frustrated with how the match ended, obviously because of the result. I don't think it's what anybody expected, but we could tell the audience wasn't too happy with the result. We could tell that even Ffion and her team didn't expect to get the win on that. We knew that we felt pretty comfortable that we should have had the decision win, based on how we actually executed the rule set. But it just goes to show you can't leave anything up to the referee. It would be very cool to see an open scoring system that would have changed the dynamic of the match significantly. But you know what, I'm not disappointed in my performance. I feel like I showed that I was able to execute a very well thought out game plan based off the information we were given, but now we just get to continue building. I'm excited to showcase some other parts of my game. If that's, if the audience is wanting to see more top game and more wrestling, it's not because I don't have it. I have it and I can use it. And if that's what people want to see, then that's what they'll see.
Fantastic. As a competitor, sometimes you'll cop questionable losses. How do you deal with that when the results might not go your way, but say the process does, like in this case? Like relative to your first match with Ffion, because you can see the amazing amount of progress you've put in as an athlete and competitor. And yeah, arguably, in my opinion, you won the match, but yeah, the results didn't go your way that time.
Yeah, it's obviously tough when the results don't reflect how you feel you did in that match. Like, that is a frustrating thing to deal with. But, you know, it's one match. One match doesn't dictate, you know, what the rest of my career looks like. It doesn't dictate what my legacy is going to look like in, you know, however many years' time. It's a no-brainer that we run that match back. Like, you know, she said it as soon as the match was done, we run it back, and I'm waiting for my contract. I'm waiting for her to sign her side of the deal. You know, I'm ready whenever she is. But there's so many fantastic opportunities ahead. There's so many more matches that I want. Like, this to me was not the pinnacle of my career. I think that there are so many more opportunities that I have ahead of me. And I'm excited to just continue moving forward and continue just growing the sport as well, especially for the female side of things. It was a pinnacle moment in female jiu-jitsu. It was the first ever UFC BJJ, or UFC Fight Pass, they called it at the time. It was the first female headline event, which is incredible for us. And I know that there were so many female athletes that came before me that also deserved that opportunity, but unfortunately the industry just wasn't there yet. But now we're getting to see more opportunities for the women, and, you know, the fact that I was able to be a part of that was something to absolutely celebrate. And I can see it happening more and more in the future as well.
Hugh, are you managing to get up for 6 a.m. jiu-jitsu, but not for your partner?
No, I'm really lonely.
Well, if you did have a partner, you could use Vitalitea's patented aphrodisiac blend. And with our discount code, SFIONMMA20, you can check out from the store, not from the bedroom, with 20% off.
Oh, that's not too odd. Unlike me. That's huge. Yeah, it's huge. You've become a bit of a pioneer for the jiu-jitsu, like female jiu-jitsu scene. Would you be able to tell us a bit about the upcoming opportunity that's happening?
100%.
Sparked, yeah.
Also, past the match with Jasmine, we got CJI that's coming up, and that is the biggest biggest women's prize ever in jiu-jitsu. So it's $100,000 US. And that just shows the growth. Like, the last CJI, obviously there wasn't much of a female presence in that CJI, but to now have the next CJI wanting to invest more in their women athletes is an incredible show that people are watching these fights, people are interested in it, and will only just continuously grow from there. But it's an amazing opportunity. There's some really tough people in that division. You know, the weight class is obviously quite heavy, but I'm up for the challenge. You know, I did the Absolute ADCC, so weight classes don't really scare me. I'm excited to get out there and just showcase some good jiu-jitsu. But we're going to put in a hard training camp for that. We're going to make sure that we're ready by the time we step out there.
Fantastic. What does a training camp look like for CGI and for the CGI pit? How are you going to change things, considering the rule set's a little bit unique and fresh?
I really like the rule set. I like the idea of 5-minute rounds. I think it plays into my style of jiu-jitsu quite well. I'm a submission hunter. I don't like people that try and stall. I don't like people that are wanting to try and do anti-jiu-jitsu all the time. Like, I'm finding I'm running into that more and more the longer the matches come, because people are too scared to engage, or, you know, they're trying to win by a very small margin. I think that kind of leans it out a little bit when we start doing rounds, where you have to do something in a round. Well, assuming that the rule set is actually, you know, properly, you know, reinforced, scored, assuming that all that is done correctly, then it makes it very hard for somebody to stall, for somebody to just do anti-jiu-jitsu. They have to do something significant to win a round. And I really like that style of jiu-jitsu. I want to do jiu-jitsu. I want people to do jiu-jitsu with me because I back my jiu-jitsu. I back my technique. I back the work that I put into my training camps. And at the end of the day, if it's me and somebody else doing jiu-jitsu, I feel confident in my jiu-jitsu. So 5-minute rounds is exciting for me. I really like the idea of that.
Do you think, because in judo and wrestling, ancient sports, there's a strong emphasis on penalties for stalling, and you know, like in judo especially, they're happy to put out a shooter like straight away. Do you think that's something that will be introduced and will benefit jiu-jitsu rule sets?
I think it can be a really beneficial thing in rule sets if it's implemented correctly, and if the athletes are given clear guidelines and what is actually considered stalling or a penalty. I think the use of like the word active control, effective control is very important, given that we are in a sport where just because you're on bottom doesn't mean that that's a bad thing in guard play, right? And sometimes the guard player can get penalized in my opinion, incorrectly, because they are still being effective, they are still being attacking, but because of how it looks to some external people, it sometimes mixes people's minds up about who's stalling and who's not engaging and things like that. I think it should be very set on effective control. So if somebody is playing bottom and they're effectively controlling the person at the top, or vice versa, I think that it can be implemented that way. I think that if ever we're in a situation where a referee is unsure about one or the other, they simply ask the person that's underneath to stand back up to force a re-engagement in a more attacking situation. I put it down to, if you're the person on the bottom and the person on top is putting pressure on you, but you can stand up anytime you want, that to me is not effective control. That to me is, just using what optically looks like you're on top and controlling. I think that's just kind of manipulating the rule set a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't think it represents what jiu-jitsu is. If the referees want a top game, then they need to tell their athletes that that's what they want. If they want wrestling exchanges, then that's something that they need to talk to their athletes about. They go, okay, if you're underneath and you're not engaging for this amount of time, we're going to penalize you. Okay, at least you make it really clear to the athletes, and they can react based off what that rule set is. But it needs to be made clear to the athletes what the expectations are.
Do you think that lack of transparency is one of the major issues with our rule sets at the moment?
I think what's happening right now is there's so many different organizations trying to find the best rule set. So there's a lot of rule set changes constantly. And most of these fight promotions are trying to come away from any hard and fast ruling sets. So any if we pull it back to IBJJF, where there's clear points exchanges through that, I think fight promotions are trying to kind of pull away from that a little bit, which is totally fine. But it also means that they need to now build a new rule set that deals with some of the intricacies of jiu-jitsu and of modern day jiu-jitsu as well, because old school jiu-jitsu versus modern day jiu-jitsu is also very different, which also means that the referees need to stay really up to date with what attacking positions actually look like. So, some positions in the old school, what would be deemed in the old school as being super defensive, I think false sweep is an excellent example of this. I think if you have a false sweep and the leg is all the way across, somebody that is not as up to date with some of the new school jiu-jitsu may call that as the person on top is in the dominant position because the leg is across center line and their knee is in and they're putting top pressure, when in reality, the person on top is actually in the defensive position and the person underneath is in the offensive position. So the referees, it is in their best interest to stay really up to date with jiu-jitsu and up to date with the intricacies of different guards that are being developed. But that is a really tough job. It is very hard. It is very demanding. So I think all these fight promotions are building towards trying their very best to find the perfect rule set. I don't know if we're necessarily there yet, but I think we will get there.
So I've been using these Breatheeze performance nasal strips and lip tape. So about 8 months ago, I had a surgery and I was really struggling with my snoring. And I've just been using the nasal strips and the lip tape. And that made such a difference. Julian, what is our discount code?
SBR MMA 15 to get 15% off your Breatheeze order.
Guys, link in bio, check them out.
Are the judges that they're finding for UFC BJJ, are they from the athletic commission, or are they looking for black belts that are in the sport?
So my understanding is they're looking for black belts that are within the sport, not necessarily active competitors, but people that have been involved in jiu-jitsu for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Which comes with pros and cons, right? These people have been in this sport. They love this sport. They are passionate about this sport, so they want to grow it and they want the best for the sport. But generally people that have been in the sport for such a long time, they're not always up to date with the new school style of jiu-jitsu, especially when it comes to no-gi. Because we have had such an increase in leg entanglements over the past 5 years. We've had such an increase in guard positioning over the past 3 years. With so many things have changed that if these people that have been in the sport for such a long time want to step into the role of being referees, they need to stay really up to date with what that actually looks like. That means a lot of match reviews. That means having open discussions with the rest of the community about what the community wants to see out of a rule set, what athletes want to see in a rule set. But again, I think it's a big work in progress. I think where I don't think it's going to be perfect. I don't think it's going to be perfect yet. And unfortunately, as an athlete, sometimes that means we get caught in the crossfire and we get caught in that building process. But that's why I say I don't think that, these matches are the be-all and end-all. I don't think it's an accurate representation of ways as to who the best grappler is or who whatever. I think rule sets play a massive part in who gets deemed best on the day. But rule sets are constantly changing and adapting. Yeah. So we're just got to kind of eventually, hopefully find a good ground. But you see with MMA, like sometimes the ruling with MMA isn't perfect.
So questionable.
And it's been around for a really long time. Yeah. Right? MMA's been around for years and years and years, and still to this day, the scoring system is not always perfect.
Yeah. From what I've seen with that, a lot of people are pinning the blame of scoring in MMA on the fact that the majority of judges come from boxing and they bring them directly to MMA.
Yeah. And
then they have certain things that are a bit different in boxing. I think there's a bigger emphasis on like ring control and that kind of stuff. And then you'll get some decisions, they'll publicize the scorecards and it'll be two guys that have it one way and the other guy has it the exact opposite way.
Yeah.
And you just look at it, how the hell does that happen?
I think that itself is a very clear indication that we need to specify some of these rule sets. If you're getting referees getting completely different opinions on things, something needs to change because there's so much ambiguity. How the athlete's supposed to know what the needs of the referees are. Yeah. And I think that was, something that I came across. One referee gave me all 3 rounds. Two referees gave me only 1 round.
Yeah,
that shows that there's a lot of ambiguity in the rule set. I don't think it's the fault of I don't think it's the fault of the UFC. I think that they're doing an amazing job growing the sport. I think that they're really putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into trying to make things work well and trying to make things perfect. But it is their 11th event was the one I competed at. They're 11 events in and they're trying, nothing's going to be perfect yet. They're trying to evolve and they're trying to figure out how they can continuously grow the sport. Hopefully they get there, but again, even with MMA, it's not always perfect. Yeah. I personally am a fan of an open scoring system, so at least then you can change things on the fly. If we knew I lost round 1, we could have had a pretty big indication that was just based off the fact that she was top, I was bottom. So it would have changed the dynamic of the last round. But that's just my perspective of it. That's just what I think would be, as an athlete, what I think would be best.
Yeah. That could make rounds more exciting too. Like if you have someone who's willing to, they see they're down on the scoreboard, they need to push it a little bit more, right, to get there. But I think, you just have to make sure that whoever's in the lead doesn't want to just coast.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's no scoring system's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And to coast for 5 minutes in a jiu-jitsu match, very difficult. Yeah. It could be very hard. Yeah. And that's when penalties start to come in. You'll be winning, and if you're still coasting, things will be adjusted, things will be moved, and we'll see what happens in the future, I think.
If you were to create your own tournament, let's call it Daddy Grappling Invitational, and create the perfect scoring criteria, rule set, everything, what would you do?
Well, I'm a submission grappler, so I'd say submission only set. To be fair, I would make it very similar to what the rule set of UFC Fight Pass was, as in what it should have been. I'm a guard player. I've done jiu-jitsu for 16 years, so I understand the intricacies of guard. So I wouldn't be penalizing somebody that is good at guard just because they're sitting down deciding to do guard. I think if people want to see wrestling, go watch wrestling. We in jiu-jitsu. I'm not here to wrestle. If you guys find wrestling more interesting, go watch wrestling. Yeah. So I think that if there is inactivity from anyone, start to either reset position or start to have that conversation. But other than that, I think it's, I like the idea of the pit or the bowl. I think that's really cool so that there's not as much referee interference with when positions start to move around. I think that's something that's really cool. And then obviously 3-5s is, I think, brilliant. I like the idea of having resets. Come on. Yeah, that would be my favorite.
Fantastic. What about, would it be a tournament or would it involve super fights?
If it's 3-5s, I would say super fight style. I would run it similar to how I think viewership wise, I would run it similar to how the UFC would, which is to build up their athletes, to have the biggest names face off, and then at the next event, somebody else starts to step in and start to try and, take the title or win certain fights that be in contention for titles. I think jiu-jitsu could do a lot better building characters, as in, like, I think people gain a lot from, feeling as though they know these athletes and feeling as though that they have someone to root for whatever reason, or maybe pull a villain and things like that. I think that we can draw from UFC, we can draw from boxing. I think that's what's going to bring external viewership in. We've tried doing it the old way where it's just like, okay, let's just make the best people fight.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu people love that, and that's fine. But if we want to pull our sport to the next level, we have to let the audience in a little bit more. We have to introduce them to who we are, what our likes are, what our dislikes are. So building characters, I think, is very important.
You think jiu-jitsu people are too nice when it comes to marketing and that sort of persona?
Yeah, I think a lot of
super friendly people. Yeah.
And like everybody, like, I don't think the people in the UFC that are talking shit are actually bad people.
Exactly.
I think they're just trying to sell. I think they're trying to get themselves paid, and I respect that. I think that's a very smart thing, but it also takes, somebody going out there and doing something a little bit different and dealing with a little bit of hate or other people's opinions and things like that. I think that is a scary thing. Like, having a voice and people disagreeing with that voice is a scary thing. But it's part and parcel with being an elite level athlete. I think you have to be a bit outspoken. You have to give your opinions on things. You can't always play it safe. I think that's what's going to grow the sport, is having a bit more personality. If you disagree with something, say it.
It builds the spectacle a bit, right? Like, if the boxing's crazy for that, like the guys come out riding like in a full parade, and there's people with like costumes as they go out.
Like a robot behind me.
Crazy. Yeah.
I need to be rolling in a car.
Yeah.
And the robot behind me.
That was sick. One championship does that well too. They're like big on sort of building their guys up. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what will push the sport to the next, like, to the outer audience, is some spectacles, some interesting things like that. And I think, obviously we get two ends of that spectrum of Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan. They've probably been the most outspoken athletes in all of jiu-jitsu. Love them, hate them, you're watching them. You know their names, we talk about them, you know their jiu-jitsu, you know their matches. So that takes a lot of risk, because you have to back what you say. You say you're the best in the world, you got to train like you're the best in the world, you got to compete like you're the best in the world, otherwise you just fall. So it's scary. It's scary going out there talking shit and needing to back it up.
It's okay if Gordon falls, you'll have his Gordon thrown underneath him. Poor guy. But that was a major criticism of George St. Pierre, right? He wasn't he didn't market himself because he was too nice. Nice guy.
Yeah. Too busy talking about dinosaurs and aliens to talk shit about his opponent.
See, that's the thing, though. It's like GSP was very good at. He didn't talk shit, but he was very confident in himself. Like, and I think, like, it's not about necessarily talking somebody down. Like, you don't need to be. If you're a spectacle, it's not about, like, oh, fuck this person. I'm gonna beat them because they suck, and their mom and their dad and whatever. Like, it doesn't need to be that. It can just be, I'm gonna beat them because I'm better than them. Like, I'm just that good. I'm the best in the world, and I'm gonna show you guys why I'm the best in the world. You don't even need to make it about the opponent. You can make it about how you believe that you are the best, and you are training as though you were the best, and you respect yourself enough to, like, feel as though you're the best. I think GSP did a good job at that, where when he was on the mic a lot of the time, he was just like, I'm just better than everybody. I'm just the best.
Yes, believes in it. Yeah.
And he backed it. And he backed it in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, so I think you can go, there's so many different pathways you can go. Like, Conor McGregor just flat out talks shit about all his opponents. Right? He just went, like, nuclear on it of, like, I don't care who you are, you suck, and I'm gonna beat you because I hate you. And he just found a reason to, like, try and break these people apart.
Trying to give whiskey to a devout, like, Muslim man.
Exactly. Like, he's just kind of
press conference.
Yeah, like he went about it in a very particular way.
Yeah.
GSP went about it in a very particular way, but there's many different ways to do it.
That guy has done so much stupid shit. And have you seen the recent thing that has been done for? We've been joking about this.
It's a hot topic the last couple of days.
I don't know if you're watching this, if you've seen the pictures, but he is red, like he's coked up out of his mind. And he's stood there doing this in the mirror, you know, while he's...
Naked?
Yeah. And he's got a weight dangling from his thing, yeah. So
I haven't seen the uncensored clip.
nah, me neither. Hugh and I saw it yesterday. Yeah. It's sparked a very interesting conversation.
Is this the same guy that's like, I want to be the I don't know if it's a president or a prime minister.
Yeah, he wants to be the president of Ireland. Yeah. While he's sending, he's been caught
Unsolicited.
in Azalea Banks's
That's crazy.
message requests of him just like, bop, and just here, this fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think it's getting to the point where, like, when it comes to the MMA, when his MMA career, he's irrelevant.
done.
He's done. He got beaten twice on his way out.
Yeah.
His match with Cowboy was questionable,
Mm-hmm.
I think, at the least. So
Yeah, that matchup should have happened. I mean, it was a legit TKO knockout. You can't say it didn't happen, but Cowboy shouldn't have been in there. But he what a stark contrast, because you look at videos of him when he's 25, and he's just clearly this is all he thinks about, and he just trains, and he says partying's bad for you, and you just that's all he's focused on.
What's the Batman quote? Batman quote.
Which Batman?
Harvey Dent.
Which one?
Something about see a hero long enough to...
Yeah. Oh, Hugh.
Was it either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain?
Yeah.
Die a hero and live long enough to become a villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
so stuck.
Sadly.
Yeah, it's accurate. You can see the downfall.
Share that, you.
We'll discuss his training methods when we have Jack Boone on. He goes, we're there with Kyle, the three of us at the front desk. We're like, do you think it's better to train the base or have it dangle? Because he had the, you've seen that. Yeah.
That conversation has made me more happy to be gay. Than
Yeah.
I don't know about man. I reckon it's pretty fucking weird.
There's some problems. Yeah. I can't believe that hate.
So I've been loving the banter online with Jasmine. We spoke about it earlier. You guys are good friends.
Yeah.
I feel like that's respectful banter. It's hilarious online.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, but still there's respect.
Yeah, I think we're both aware of what lines to cross and not to cross. It's respectful banter, but also at the end of the day, there is some legitimacy to it. She needs to back herself in this match, and she needs to believe that she can win, even though the odds are not in her favor. So I think that she knows how to sell a match. She knows how to get people interested. She did it well with her WNO match with Ffion. And I think that she's just she knows how to sell. I think she's doing a fantastic job at it, and I'm all for the banter. I think that people in our industry need to have a thick skin. You're going to be willing to go with the banter. You're going to be willing to give it back a little bit. Everybody needs to, you're going to be okay having a bit of a banter, having people's opinions out there. You have to make people give a shit. And they're not going to give a shit if they don't know about you. They're not going to give a shit if there's no interest. They're not going to give a shit if they don't care about what team wins.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give them a team.
Do you have a prediction for that match?
Is it an envelope?
I should put it in an envelope.
You should do that. 100%.
I think I take that match and I'm out there to get my submission bonus. But I also want to showcase some other styles of jiu-jitsu. I think that there's been a lot of talk online about, Shoni plays guys, Shoni does this. I pride myself on being well-rounded. Just because of some of the matches that I've had, I haven't needed to use some of the other shit that I can do. It doesn't mean I don't have it. And okay, if I got to shut some people up and show some other sides of my jiu-jitsu, then I'll comfortably do that too.
You have a nice with your butter.
Which was a good wrestling today. I was really enjoying that. But that's the thing. It's people that aren't in the training rooms and people that don't. I've been doing jiu-jitsu 16 years. I think somebody commented on one of my posts the other day saying it's really cool to see somebody rise to the top so fast. I commented back on that, bro, I've been training 16 years. I'm not an overnight success. Like, this has been a long time in the making, but people that aren't in the training group don't know, you know, that I'm not just a guard player, that I got other tools in the toolbox. But if I gotta just prove that to them, then I will. If I gotta prove that to them, literally just sell instructionals, and I'll do that. That's fine. I'll go with it there. I back my jiu-jitsu. I back the fact that I'm well-rounded. So, you know, I'll get it done however I feel like it.
As long as you're comfortable talking about this, so what are some of the funniest comments you've seen online?
I get plenty of shit. The main stuff that I get that makes us laugh is there's somebody that is persistent on my Instagram that will persistently like tell me that I was born a boy, that I'm transgender. Like, it's just adamant. It's just like,
crazy.
Oh, I've never seen photos of her when she's young. I'm like, yeah, they're in my Instagram. You know what? Even if they're not in my Instagram, go to my Facebook, go to my dad's Facebook. Like, there's photos of me when I was fucking 3 years old, but there's somebody just adamant about being like, wow, we shouldn't let men in women's sport. I'm like, bro, just because I got bigger shoulders than you. Like, come on, man. Just because I know what the inside of a gym looks like and you don't. Like, come on, bro. But nah, that makes me giggle. There's just some like salty people. Like, the best things that I get is if I put any kind of content on instructional stuff online, blue belt males that will try and correct it. My favorite thing. They'll just be like, oh, when I do my double legs, this is how I do. I'm like, cool, bro. Good on you. Great. I didn't ask your opinions. But all the time, I think it's just like, sometimes there's some male egos out there that just want to like feel heard. And that's okay. I'll like the little comment and be like, good job, bro. Someone loves you. It's okay. Yeah, I just think social media can be a pit, but it can also be just like everything with a grain of salt. Everybody's just trying to be heard and something. It's just like, you just got to let it, you just got to not care about it as much, because as soon as you start caring and it starts getting to you, then it's a very deep hole. You just got to go with the flows of it and treat it for what it is, and that's people having a bit of fun. And that's all it is.
It's a good perspective on it. Do you think Gordon, because obviously Gordon's comment section is like a hole, like it's hell, it's full of some crazy stuff. Do you think he genuinely gets annoyed? Just our opinion, I guess. But.
Do I think he gets like personally hurt by the comments in his? No, I don't think so. I think that he gets genuine. I think he genuinely gets enjoyment at interacting with his fans, because I know for me, like when people comment, I don't know. I'm impressed with the time that he spends to interact with people. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had people comment on my shit and I've written out a comment back and be like, you, and you know, how dare you talk about, and then I'm like, you know what, who cares? Like, why interact with some of these people that are just trying to be trolls? I think he genuinely gets enjoyment out of it.
He must do it. That's awesome.
I think that he finds it, like, I think he has fun commenting back and like trolling people.
Because people like will post stuff on his story.
Yeah. He'll call people out.
What the fuck?
That's what I mean. But like that is time consuming.
Yeah.
Like, going through comments and like commenting back every like troll is like hell time consuming. So like, good on him for like telling people that he thinks should go fuck themselves.
Respect. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And after CJI, not CJI.
Yeah.
CJI.
Pronounce the J. Yeah.
After CJI, got anything on at the end of the year? You thinking about Nogi Worlds jumping in?
Good question.
Surely they could pay your radio at this point.
I will support the events that support their athletes. So I took a stand last year, and that stand was I will not do Nogi Worlds because the Nogi Worlds were not supporting their black belt professional athletes. The more an organization treats me like a professional, the more I'll behave like a professional. So until IBJJF come to the table and help their athletes out, it is not cheap being a jiu-jitsu athlete. Flying all over the place, training, like paying for your coaches, paying for your strength and conditioning, all that kind of stuff. So part of what they need to do is help support their athletes so they can be the best athletes they can possibly be. And those athletes are who gives legitimacy to these events. If there is no good professional athletes in the event, how can you call it a world title? You can't, because the best people are not there. How can it be a legitimate world title? You can't. So I think that it's very important that IBJJF step in and start to support their athletes and start to help athletes be professional athletes so that they can build the sport, so they can be the best athletes that they can possibly be. Until they do that, I will not jump in.
So you're telling me the blue belt Masters 2 guy that put a world champion in his bio isn't actually a world
Oh
champion?
my God. That's anybody that doesn't specify what division and what age bracket they are in, like what belt and what age bracket they're in, that irks me a lot. Anybody that's like, I'm a professional jiu-jitsu athlete and I'm a blue belt, I'm like, bro, come on. But you're not putting jiu-jitsu athlete on your tax return, so don't put it on your Instagram bio. Like, come on, man. But I think that people need to live in reality, but martial arts in general is a very ego-driven sport. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to feel like they can win in a fight, like all that kind of. It's very ego-driven. So, if you put up a gold medal in a division where there was no one else in there, it's not hard to find that out. It's not hard to just go online and look through Sleuth Comp and find out how many people were in your division. Honestly, but
that blue belt Masters athlete's the guy correcting your double leg.
he's also probably the guy that's calling me transgender.
He's got 5 different accounts.
Don't be surprised. Burner accounts, but it's all the same stuff. Yeah, not be surprised.
The same guy that be asking for feed pics.
Bro, you should see my DMs.
I feel for female athletes. Get some weird story.
Yeah, there's definitely. But again, it's like everything on social media with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I get some weird stuff in my DMs. Part of me is like a lot of feet pic requests, like more than you think. And part of me is like, like maybe it's sell my feet pics, but also part of me is like, I don't know if I want to do the market research to know what my foot is worth. Like, because I definitely don't want to undersell myself and undervalue myself, but I don't particularly want to find out what that market rate is, because that involves me needing to go out and
You'll have to look at a lot of.
yeah, you know what I mean? I like to compare, is mine as good as that person's? And
Get ChatGPT in the mix.
How do you become one of the weirdos?
like, and I'm deep in there and I'm like, well, okay.
His search history is just how much for this foot. It's like-
I don't know. Maybe that'll be my entrance into OnlyFans. That's how I buy myself a Lamborghini. Who knows?
Zach,
You have to do what you gotta do sometimes.
Eamon, our announcer, he sent me a screenshot.
Nothing else. Just an answer.
He's the man. They brought me blood oranges and tea today, bro. That was good.
Yeah, he gave out to the pro class, to the girls.
What a legend.
Oh,
Oh, man.
that's what you want.
He's always.
Class is a good like orange. Brings me back to when I played soccer. And like halftime, you have a few oranges just to like get your energy back up. That's what it brought me back to.
Legend, go. I'll confirm with him whether or not I can talk about this, but he sent me a screenshot of it.
We're gonna film it.
Yeah.
See how that
This guy was asking him to kick him.
yeah.
He was like, I'll send you money. I'm coming to Melbourne to train. I'll give you X amount of money to like kick me in some back alley.
Yeah.
And I text him like, do not go anywhere this guy's asking you to go. He's going to like kidnap you or some shit.
How much is he offering?
Yeah.
If I get a cut, I'll film it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Everybody has a tipping point. Everybody has a tipping point. There's a price for it.
$20 per kick? Maybe.
Yeah. How many kicks did you get in a minute? Yeah.
Well, he never set a time limit. So Zach could just stay there for like hours just kicking him.
Yeah, look, jiu-jitsu athletes are renowned for anything for money. There's a price for everything. Yeah.
Do you have any other matches you're hoping to do at the end of the year?
I'll definitely stay active this year. Like, I want to make sure that I have matches all the way through until the end of the year. So I definitely still want to stay active all the way up until like December and then reset for January next year. I can't disclose what yet. That's the classic thing of I can't say what is in the plans for the coming months, but I can tell you that I have every intention of staying active. Just depends who's willing to sign what contracts, who's actually willing to fight, like all those kind of things, what fight promotions are willing to put on what matches. But just let it be known that I want to stay active. I want to continue to compete. So if I am quiet, it's not because I don't want to compete. It's because we're looking for the right opportunities. and for the right people to sign the contracts, and as well as that, for the right amount of compensation to be offered. Like, part of my job is to pull up the entire women's athlete pool, so to make sure that women are getting paid more, and that means that we have to negotiate for that. That's part of the job.
Awesome. And if we can speak about it, who's been confirmed for CJI?
Yeah, I think they got released.
Format Helena, Adele. Who else is on the card?
So we had Anna Vieira as well, and the most recent addition is Sarah Galbao.
Wow.
Which is a stacked division.
Stacked.
Absolutely stacked division, and that division is at 145. For all the people that have no idea what pounds are, that is 66 kilos. I'm pretty
Okay. Yeah. So you'd be cruising a little bit of weight, hey?
Yeah, I'll easily be the lightest in that division, easily. But again, weight doesn't scare me. Like, I back my jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu, the whole premise of jiu-jitsu is it's the martial art for the smaller person, and leverage and all the yada, yada, yada stuff that, you know, the Gracie family has said for years and years. And I back my technique. I back my jiu-jitsu. So I'm not scared to be the smallest. But, like, there's so many multiple-time world champions in that division. There's the new generation that's coming up in that division. So it's an absolutely stacked division, but I think all the women in that division deserve to be there. And I think that I'm very excited to see what styles they pull to this rule set as well.
Your first time competing against all of them, right? Have you had a match with Anna?
No, I've never had a match with any of them.
Any of them, yeah.
Yeah, I know them all. I know them all, like, some of them more than others, but I know them quite well. And I think that we're all just excited to be part of this event. I think we're all going to go out there trying to win $100,000. Yeah.
So what are the main attributes, style, matchups? Helena's a guard player, good leg locker like yourself. She's got a nice close guard. Anna is a guard player as well? No.
She's got a good top game. Like,
top game.
I think. So Anna won the minus 65 ADCC division.
Yes.
Has a really good top pressure game, some good wrestling, has a good guard as well. I think she's decently well-rounded. So I think that she'll offer, like, a high-pace, high-intensity match. I think Helena, very technical. I think that she is, she'll be a fun puzzle to try and unpack.
Yeah.
She's a good submission hunter as well, so that'll be very fun to deal with. And then obviously Sarah, who is coming out there with a lot to prove, and she's going to come out there trying to put a lot of pressure on everybody. Like, her passing is fantastic, her top game's fantastic, her guard is very technical as well. She comes from a bit more of a gi background, so to see her step into the no gi is super exciting. I think each athlete offers something different and a different puzzle to kind of try and unpack. But everybody is, like, all those athletes are very strong. They're very good at what they do.
Fantastic. Cool. You guys got any closing questions? Any other thoughts?
I mean, so you've shown Sarah quite fit. Does the game plan or train camp change much?
Look, it's not the first time I've competed against somebody that I've either trained with or been friends with. I think it comes down to we're both going to go out there and do our job. And whoever comes out victorious on the day, comes out victorious on the day. Like, I hope the best for her and wish the best for her. She's actually a really good friend of mine. Like, we've kind of spoken since the announcement got released, and we have the utmost respect for one another. Like, I'll still pop into Atos, and I'll still get some training at Atos. Like, I'm still part of that team, and that team is still going to be helping me in my training camp to get ready for CJI as well. And we've had those conversations. So there's no bad blood between any of us. There's no, like, I think we're just going to go out there and do our job. And that's the main thing. That's what you have to do. Like, you can be friends. You can go out there and do your job. You can still be friends afterwards. And that, I think some people struggle with that. But at the end of the day, jiu-jitsu is a small sport. And if you hate all the people in your division, you're going to hate a lot of people. So it's just not worth. So it's just go out there, do your best, do your job. But they've been supportive. They've reiterated their support for me and welcomed me into the space, no matter, how the bracket ends up, which is cool.
Fantastic. Well, shout out JubJub Alpha for making this happen today. Vitalitea, Breatheeze. Anyone else we want to shout out?
I think that's it for now, eh?
Cool. Fantastic. Thank you today. Legend.
Thanks a lot.
Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Want to see more content.